Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. And we are back. We are back after the midweek tense cliffhanger against Brentford. We are back. We are back for the game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth away. Bournemouth away is going to be very difficult. It's not going to be easy. Bournemouth have been playing exceptionally well this season. We have seen them give tough games to the likes of Spurs and as I think they've beaten Aston Villa if I'm not wrong. So they have been incredibly tough to play against. So and let's get into the lineup quickly. The lineup's very interesting for me. The lineup is I mean with Pep it's always interesting. When is it not interesting, the lineup? I mean, some people would say last season, February to May, it wasn't interesting, Mohan, but then the tactics were interesting. John Stones coming into the midfield and making a box, sometimes making a diamond against Inter to counter them tactically. So, but if I'm looking at this lineup, I think okay. I mean, I don't know why they've given the lineup like this. It's on goal.com. It's on the Google normal one. They've given Akanji in the midfield, but for me, I think uh, this is my problem with this lineup. Akanji will be at the right back position. So does that mean because it's generally Bernardo who comes inside and Walker goes up and down. But maybe I think this will mean that Bernardo stays wide, will offer the width, and then I think it's Stones goes into the midfield obviously. And you have Stones. There's no point in sending Akanji into the midfield. Akanji on the right, uh, Stones into the midfield. I think that will be it. Akanji at right back. Ake, Diaz, Stones, Akanji. I think this for me is the exact lineup Pep was actually playing in the Champions League last season in the knockout games from February. No Walker and he was playing this. For me, I think still this is our best defensive lineup. This is the best defensive lineup in Europe. I think. Ake, Diaz, John Stones, and Manuel Akanji. The problem is when Akanji tries to go forward and put that crosses in, that is where the problem is. But if Akanji stays back nice and solid, then I think for me this is the best defense in Europe, which means it's probably the best defensive lineup in the world. With Rodri sitting in front of you, this is the best back four, back five in world football for me. And Akanji had a five-star performance, seven-star performance against Brentford. He was exceptional. So it will be interesting. The interesting thing here is Akanji is having a very good run of games since his comeback. Those 1-2 games has been exceptional, especially the last game against Brentford. Nathan Ake has been the standout defender this season. He's been one of the best defenders in the Premier League this season, top two, top three. And then you have John Stones, who is the only one it seems in Europe, who is the only one it seems in world who can come into the into the midfield regions and then go back. So I think these three are pretty much undroppable. And then you have got Ruben Diaz, who for his leadership qualities and stuff, you can't remove him from the center. I honestly think Kyle Walker deserves to be dropped just based on form. There is no place for Kyle Walker in this lineup. There is absolutely no place for Kyle Walker. Bayaji says, Bayaji, Arey Bayaji, how are you doing? Bayaji says, what happened to those quick fire first half goals this season? Firstly, Bayaji, what do you think of this defensive lineup? Ake, Diaz, Stones, Akanji. Do you think Walker comes back into this set, or does Walker deserve to be left out? Because if you ask, I want to know your opinion. Because if you ask me, I think Walker doesn't deserve to start above these four people: Ake, Diaz, Akanji, and Stones. What do you think? What do you think? Because it seems somehow Pep wants to start Walker every game, and what Walker does is he's useless in the build-up. He does not know how to cross, and nowadays he's become shit at defending as well. Isak, Gordon, and stuff. Those quick fire, I don't know, Bayaji. It seems odd because what this season is a bit reminding me of, especially the second half of this season, is reminding me of Pep's first season. In Pep's first season, we were like first 45 minutes we were excellent. The next 45 minutes we were shit, especially Pep's first season, the first most of Pep's first season. I think this season it's become reverse. We are shit the first half, and then the second half it's been we essentially go goal down, against Everton, against Brentford, against Chelsea. Lot of examples. And then what we do is Pep kicks our ass and at half time, and then we seem to play well in the second half. I also think Bayaji, the reason why those quick fire goals have disappeared, especially they have disappeared from, you see, from the December period onwards, since when we went to Club World Cup and came back. Because before that, 3-3 Spurs, 4-4 Chelsea, or am I got it reversed? We were scoring plenty of those goals, first half goals. I actually think Pep has been experimenting a lot. Everton, we didn't score first half goals. Why? Pep picked a shit lineup, especially having Alvarez in the center. Against Brentford, last match against Brentford, Pep was playing Alvarez in the middle and Phil Foden on the wing. What happens? Against Brentford, when we went 1-0 down, Pep was doing the same thing, threw Phil Foden out on the wing. Only when Foden came into the center, we were performing well. So I think more than the shit first half goals this season, Pep. I don't know what Pep has done with Foden. He honestly, Bayaji, Foden puts in a man of the match performance against Brentford, where he scores a hat trick. And what do you do to him the next three games? Stick him out on the bloody wing? I've never understood why Pep did that. When Phil Foden was arguably, he's the best player in taking the ball in the half turn. He's the best player in breaking down the low block. He scored a hat trick, and you stick him down on the wing where it's much easier to defend. Come on, so easy to defend on the wing where you just put two defenders on him. He can't receive the ball on the half turn on the wing. So you're essentially removing Phil Foden's best qualities on the wing. Bhaiya, this lineup would have mattered more against Chelsea team. Only blip is again Foden looks like on the wings. That I don't get it, Bayaji. I'm just on the verge of losing it. I don't get it. Phil Foden is arguably the best player in receiving the ball on the half turn. Inter Milan Champions League final against Brentford. Even last game against Brentford when we won 1-0. The game after he had the hat trick, half turn and he went 1-on-1, didn't finish. That was another other thing. He has got the best quality. And on the wing, have you ever seen a player receiving a ball on the half turn on the wing? You can't, right? Because you're not playing through the lines there. Don't know what Pep is doing. And then he played his playing Matthews Nunes in the center. I mean, what is Matthews Nunes done that Phil Foden has not? That Nunes is deserving to play in the in the central midfield. I I, I don't know. And also there was an excellent there's an excellent video I was watching on YouTube about the positions of Julian Alvarez. Uh, Whenever City have done well, whenever City have won games, whenever City have been very good, Julian Alvarez has played just behind Haaland. The distance between Haaland and Alvarez had been very close. Alvarez was playing like a shadow striker, and whenever City have been shit, Julian Alvarez was playing in midfield. He was playing in deeper areas. Like against Chelsea, Pep played Julian Alvarez as a second pivot. When you have Kevin De Bruyne, who could have more naturally done that role, second pivot, control thing from deep. And Julian Alvarez passing his shit. He cannot take the ball on the half turn. Not his problem. Not he's a striker. Well, you can't expect to play a Samuel Eto'o as a pivot and think that he will be a world beater. Don't understand from Pep what is happening. Bayaji says, remember that Newcastle game early in the season? Foden wriggled past Newcastle defenders and assisted Alvarez. Exactly, Bayaji. And in that game, you look at the positioning of Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland. You look at the distance between both. It was almost like Alvarez was a shadow striker in that game. He was just behind Erling Haaland. I think that is the best position for Julian Alvarez to play. Not as a deep pivot, not in central midfield. But then I don't know if Pep can afford to play a 4-4-2. I just don't know. But I think Julian Alvarez's best position is in a 4-4-1-1 or just behind Erling Haaland. With Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland, it almost reminds me of Sergio Aguero and Stefan Jovetic, if you remember, or Sergio Aguero and Alvaro Negredo. Before Negredo got those injuries, he was a beast. I mean, that combination was a beast, to be honest. So Bayaji says Foden scored a hat trick playing in the middle, playing through the middle. What more proof does Pep want? And that seems like a mistake, Bayaji, that Foden had done, because the next three games is punished. The next three games is punished on the wings. It's almost that Pep had given him a punishment posting. You've scored a hat trick, now go to the wing. And when did he score a hat trick? It was not when City were 2-0 up, when City were 1-0 down, and no one was able to do anything. The man led the comeback. What more do you want? What more do you want? Game has started. Akanji at right back. Erling Haaland. Akanji himself settled down at right back. Uh, Ruben Diaz. I think it's a flat back four. I think maybe Pep will look at Manuel Akanji to invert. I think, I don't know, but we'll have to look at that. Bournemouth are a high pressing team. I don't know what Erling Haaland is doing so deep into our half, but Rodri. Edison, Bournemouth are almost pressing with their front three. Their front three are narrow and they're pressing. That's a long ball by Erling Haaland. Sorry, long ball by Edison, of course, Haaland. Why will Haaland play a long ball? Rodri does extremely well there. Mateo Kovacic. He had almost played Erling Haaland through over there. Kovacic, we must remember, is a master of those through balls. Kovacic has been injured a bit, and I know a few City fans have been going on him, but Kovacic when fit is the master of beating the press, is the master of the through balls and stuff. Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland, Rodri. I'll keep an eye on Foden's positioning, and it's on the wings. There's no surprise. No, it's actually Nunez on the wings. Foden is playing through the middle for a change. Looks like Pep Guardiola has been hearing to the prayers of all the fans. That was a stupid ball from Rodri anyway. That was just a misplaced pass. But Foden's playing in the middle, Nunez on the left wing, which is again interesting. I mean, the interesting part about this is Nunez on the left wing might not actually be bad in the absence of Grealish, because Nunez retains the ball well, not as much as Grealish, but he retains the ball well. Nunez is defensively very good. His work rate, he can almost match Jack Grealish's work rate. Creatively is not that much there, but so Nunez might not be a bad option on the left wing. It will make our flanks defensively that much stronger, to be honest. JSK says Nunez is CDM, by the way. He could be Rodri backup. I don't think JSK Nunez can play as a CDM. I don't think he can hold things on his own, because even when he played for Wolves, it was almost like he had a Joao Moutinho beside him. I think even at Sporting he was playing as a, okay, he played as a CDM, but he was playing more in a box to box role. For me, I think the best role for Matthews Nunes is he is a box to box midfielder. He is not a pure CDM. I think he is an Ilkay Gundogan without the goals. I mean, he's a box to box midfielder who can do all the defensive work, and his running into the box is also very good. He just doesn't have the finishing and stuff of a Gundogan. That's the only thing. So for me, he's a box to box player, and we need to buy. For me, I think we need to buy Rodri's backup. And Rodri's backup is Joshua Kimmich. But again, JSK, the sad part is Thomas Tuchel is leaving Bayern. So now I don't know if Yasha Kimmich will want to come. Matheus Nunes on the wing. Is there with the ball. That is excellent work by Matheus Nunes. JSK says Zubimendi can be an option too. I actually think JSK Joa Neves from I think it's from Sporting. I think Sporting up is from Sporting. Joa Neves, sorry, Benfica. Joa Neves from Benfica would be an excellent option. Because I think when you look at Atletico as well, I think Rodri was not a DM for Atletico. Rodri was just a central midfield player for Atletico. Rodri wasn't an out and out DM for them. I think Thomas Partey was playing there as a DM and stuff for Atletico when we bought Rodri. So, JSK, have you seen the news? Yesterday, it was in the Telegraph, I think, from some well placed sources that City, if Bernardo Silva leaves next season, since he has the release clause of 50 million pounds and PSG want to activate it, City will go back for Lucas Paqueta. Pep thinks Lucas Paqueta is the best replacement he could get for Bernardo Silva. So that is interesting. What I want us to do is go. I mean, next season will be interesting because if we get Lucas Paqueta, I don't want Bernardo to leave, but just thinking if we get Lucas Paqueta, and since we have already got Savio, so suddenly we'll have a right winger, two traditional wingers, and then you have Erling Haaland. So, so that's gonna be interesting actually. The playing style next season. Look at where Erling Haaland is playing today. He's playing everywhere except up front. I don't know why he's coming so deep to receive the ball. City are a bit struggling here to get the ball onto Bournemouth half. Erling Haaland is through. Erling Haaland is through. And Erling Haaland misses. Erling Haaland misses. Erling Haaland goes through one on one. I was just expecting the net to bulge. I was expecting the net to bulge. I think Haaland could have slowed down, taken a touch. I don't know why he's going for shots so early this season. Ah, Haaland was through there. Great counter. Look at Phil Foden in the counter. Excellent. JSK says Douglas Lewis can be very good option, but I doubt he will leave. This girl is playing for Aston Villa Women's Football Club, and Aston Villa are now attacking our box. Edison does extremely well over there. Bournemouth are so close to scoring. Karkes with a shot. Actually, I don't know who he is. Seems to be like a young defender who has come, but excellent save from Edison. Douglas Lewis will be the price will also be too much. JSK, they will be asking north of 100 million. It's difficult. I think Douglas Lewis cannot be an option now, especially if at Aston Villa he'll be playing. Aston Villa will be in Europe, if not the Champions League, Europa League next season, and especially if he'll be starting every time, and at City he might not start every time. I think we need a it's a corner and Edison catches it. I think we need a young CDM who's will grow into that role in the next 2 3 years because that sort of a player will be happy to accept his time on the bench and learn under Rodri. Romeo Lavia was the perfect one actually. I don't know why we left him. Maxima Perone will also be interesting. He was said to be the next Frankie De Jong, Maxima Parone, so he'll also be interesting. He's on loan at Las Palmas, I think. Gautam is here. Hello, citizens. Hey, Gautam, how you doing? We need your attacking bliss, man. Erling Haaland just went one on one and he missed the target. What the hell's happening to Erling Haaland, man? City should have been 1-0 up. He went through on goal and he didn't even test the keeper. And City's passing has been erratic to say the least. Bournemouth are not sitting back, they're pressing City high. Edison threw it against the striker. Don't know what Eddie is doing. This is going to be a punch for punch match. Let's hope it's not a Chelsea or Spurs with 3-3, 4-4, those kind of score lines. Gautam says, yeah, I saw it. I was expecting him to at least test the goalkeeper. I was not looking at the player, Gautam. I was looking at the net. I was expecting the net to bloody bulge and the ball goes out. Because seriously, Haaland had a lot of time. He could take a touch, he could have sensed the defender, he could do a lot of things. Manuel Akanji on the ball. Again, the passing has been shit. I don't know why we are always switched off in the first half this season. And I don't know why does it take us to go a goal down, for example, to be switched on. Manuel Akanji, Phil Foden's playing in the midfield areas is coming deep. Just good actually. Nunez and Bernardo on the wings. Manuel Akanji plays it back. Ruben Diaz, Rodri, Matthews Nunez receives the ball and that's a free kick for City. That was a bad tackle, to be honest. That was a bad tackle by Smith. I think it's Steve Smith. Adam Smith. Steve Smith was the Australian batsman, right? Kovacic will be the key here because Bournemouth's press is high and Kovacic is called as the master of beating the press. I think we need to get Kovacic on the ball more than even Foden, I think, for me. The referee has to get a grip on things here. It's a long kick from Neto, and Edison catches it, drops it, and then he catches it again. Again, Bayaj said it right when he said, "Why are we not scoring first half City goals?" That is because we're not at all switched on. We're absolute shite in the first half. I think Edison has the highest touches of the ball of all the players on the field. And Bournemouth have had more shots on target than us. Gautam says, heard some news about City interested in Pedro Neto. Would be really delighted if we get him. Imagine Doku at one wing and Neto at the other wing. Counter attacks will be fire. Next season, anyway, I think it will be interesting, Gautam, because now I don't think we're getting Pedro Neto because that shortlist had three players. That shortlist had Pedro Neto, Savio, and it was Olise, I think. And we choose to go with Savio. And Savio is very quick as well. And I think Savio retains the ball better than a Pedro Neto. Erling Haaland is through once more. But he's laid off the ball now. Ah, that is good. Quick recovery from Bournemouth. Manuel Akanji gets the ball. Mateo Kovacic. Nathan Ake. Phil Foden. Phil is really controlling the tempo of the midfield very well. He's showing the maturity of a seasoned midfielder in there. They're just crowding Rodri. The striker of Bournemouth is just getting onto Rodri. I'm surprised that he's not started Doku today. Because Doku would have absolutely loved to run at those Bournemouth fullbacks. Ake does extremely well. So Gautam, I think Savio is quick as well. Like I said, Savio is very good in terms of assists and counterattacks and all of that stuff. So I think Savio will be an excellent signing. And he's Brazilian as well. He's having the highest goal contributions in La Liga. He's absolutely destroyed teams like Barcelona. Played very well against Real Madrid the first leg back in October, November when Girona played them. Savio, I think, is very very good. But yeah, Pedro Neto would have been just clutch in terms of pure counter attacking and dribbling things. But but again, that's the thing. When have we seen Pedro Neto being covered by two fullbacks? I'm sorry, two defenders. We have not seen that at Wolves because no one does that against Wolves, right? That is the challenge in playing against City. Gautam says Savio is also late. His crosses as well. Gautam is crossing as well. I think we'll get another Riyad Mahrez sort of a crosser. I think in Savio. I think the crossing also might have been a thing when they were deciding against uh, Pedro Neto because Pedro Neto's crossing is not as good. But I think Olise is the best crosser. I think one of the best crossers in the Premier League. I mean, of course, there is KDB, but one of the young best crossers, I would say. Bournemouth are driving forward, and that's very well defended. That this defense is just looking so solid. Erling Haaland coming so deep. This is something which I will not understand. And City are again driving forward. It's Phil Foden. Erling Haaland is through. Ah, boy, his touch just let him down. Haaland was through over there. Never seen Haaland getting through so many times in a single match. Ah, but I think the first opportunity was the best one for Erling Haaland, to be honest. That was a foul, and City get the free kick. I mean, I really wanted Olise to replace Riyad Mahrez on the right wing. Olise would have been lit. I think if he got Olise, there's no need of even tactics. Just let him cross the ball and Haaland will score. His crossing is so good. Bernardo Silva is coming into the midfield now. Problem will be on the transition when the ball gets turned over. Bournemouth are really pressing high. They're spending all that energy. I think Kovacic needs to get into that midfield in deep areas and relieve people like Ford. And I think Kovacic is the wily old fox here. Yes, Nathan, give the ball to Kova. Foden gives it away. I think Kovacic needs to go deep and get hold of the ball. 21 minutes and we have not tested the goalkeeper even once. Our first half shit show continues. Bournemouth on the ball. Nathan. That is an excellent tackle there. I don't know who had done the tackle. I think it's Johnny Stones. What a tackle from Johnny Stones. And he's kept hold of the ball as well. Matthews Nunez walking into a dead end, knowing it's a dead end. Nathan Ake, Phil Foden, John Stones, Rodri, Kovacic. And City score. It's 1-0. It's Will Foden. It's a golden boy. It's Will Foden with the goal again. Wow. And he does this celebration. Woo! This is it. I am the most lethal marksman in the world. Come on, Phil Foden. Come on. Wow. What a goal. What a goal. The golden boy. One of our own. Come on, Phil. Blissful Foden, Gautam. Blissful Foden. He's one of our own. Wonderful. And the assist from Haaland as well. I mean, it's not an assist in that sort of a sense, but at least he's tested the goalie here. And it was a difficult shot. He's taken a difficult shot, and Phil Foden again arriving in the box. Right place, right time. That takes him on 8 goals. How many goals did Gundogan have last season? Can anyone tell me how many goals did Gundogan have last season? Let's actually check it. How many goals did Gundogan have last season? This will be an interesting stat because Foden has 8, I reckon. Sorry, Phil Foden has 9 goals now. Phil Foden has 9 goals this season. Last season, Ilkay Gundogan had 8 goals. So it's actually interesting looking at the stats and for people. I mean, I'm not anyway comparing Foden to Gundogan here. Foden had been a clutch player. He's been absolutely good. Gundogan has been clutch player and he's been superb for City. But for people who say, well, Gundogan scored clutch goals. Right, let me compare those clutch goals. And for people who are saying, City lost Gundogan, especially the Arsenal fans and United fans and Liverpool fans to an extent who are saying, City lost Gundogan, where will they get the goals from? The clutch goals from. Everton 1-0 down. How was the equalizer? Clutch. Brentford 1-0 down. What did Foden do? Scored a hat trick. Leipzig, okay, it was in the group stage, but still. We were 2-0 down or something, and Foden was the one who started the comeback. So those are all clutch goals as well. Ah, Bernardo Silva should have scored there. Bernardo Silva should have scored. He knows that. Again, look at the run from Johnny Stones. Bernardo Silva knows that. That's his bread and butter. Exactly. You expect that was so easy, Gautam. That is the angle you expect the net to repel from. If Mahrez would have been watching that, he's like, how many Riyad Mahrez goals have we not watched from that angle? That is too easy. We have been accustomed to having people like Mahrez, Silva playing in that position. And next season, Savio will come. But Bernardo Silva should have scored there. That's why the goals comparison is interesting because Foden's already got 9 goals this season. Last season total he had 11 and he's already got 9. And Gundogan in the whole of last season got 8 goals. So I really expect Foden to hit 16, 15, 16 goals, I think, by the end of the season in the Premier League, just in the Premier League. I know those will be insane numbers. That's a free kick to Bournemouth. That's a free kick to Bournemouth. What is the highest number of goals scored by a midfielder in Premier League? Let us search it. I'm not getting it, but I remember it will be around 17, 18, which Yaya Toure had actually done. Let us see. Bournemouth are taking a free kick here. Let us have a clean sheet, please. That's an excellent punch from Edison, and it's gone straight to a City player as well, and it's gone out for a City throw. Also, I have Akanji in the Fantasy League, so look at the build up to the goal. Mateo Kovacic, that is what he's excellent at. He's just broken the Bournemouth lines with that one pass. That is what Kovacic brings. I think the one player we missed against Chelsea was Kovacic. Kovacic is a master of the press, and with Chelsea players pressing us so much, I think Mateo Kovacic would have just ripped that Chelsea press to shreds. And it was actually interesting hearing Mauricio Pochettino talk ahead of the Carabao Cup final tomorrow that he was telling, just look at Jurgen Klopp. Trophies don't mean anything. How many trophies has he won before coming to Dortmund? You must give me time. We will not be judged on trophies. That's what he was telling. But Mauricio, even you were given a lot of time. What did you bloody achieve at Spurs? You could not even win the League One with PSG, which are you and a lot of the viewers watching this could easily have made PSG win that league Liga. And Pochettino is talking all this ethical shit. And by the way, Klopp had won trophies with Dortmund as well. He had won things with Dortmund before he had come to Liverpool. I guess he had helped Mainz as well get a promotion or something like that. So Klopp, unlike Pochettino, had been a winner since the inception of his managerial journey. Erling Haaland was almost getting through there. Can we get a second before half time? How long has it been that we have relaxed and watched a match? It's all been tense against Brentford, against Everton. The last few games, except Burnley, have all been tense, to be honest. That's a Bournemouth throw in, I guess. That's well done. Ruben Diaz receives the ball, and Bernardo Silva is coming into the middle as well. Manuel Akanji going out wide. That's a good tackle by Bournemouth player. Rodri, excellent switch. Matthews Nunes, what a switch that is, and what a take by Nunes as well. His first touch is just sublime, superb. Look at Phil Foden holding the ball in the midfield, but you need to get Kova involved in those deep lying areas. He's the best in that. No, why Kovacic is playing much more advanced than Foden. I think Foden should be playing in an advanced role, and Kova should receive the ball in those deep lying areas. Excellent from Phil Foden. This is wonderful work from Phil Foden. Matthews Nunes. I think Nunes just held on to the ball too much there, but he's done well. He's done the Grealish role. He's recycled it, and it's a throw in for City. He's done well. He's not given the ball away, which Pep Guardiola likes. We don't like, to be honest. They're trying the diagonal ball, Bournemouth. I think it's to Justin Clivert, and it's just not working. Look at how much City players are trusting Kovacic in those tight areas. It's almost impossible to take the ball off him unless you foul him, that is. And Kovacic gets the ball back again. That's a foul. Yeah, unless you foul him. Look at it. How much he was in a tight spot and how they took the ball off him. That is excellent from Kovacic. City need to get another goal before the break, I think, so that we can just sit and relax, to be honest. If only the header from Erling Haaland was into the path of Phil Foden. But the idea from Ederson is just superb. It's been very, very good. Natanaki does extremely well over there, and Rodri gets the ball. Manuel Akanji with an excellent run on the outside. Rodri. Ake does extremely well there. Get in front of his man. Phil Foden. Rodri. That's a foul. I don't know when the referee on Kovacic, and I don't know when the referee will start bringing out his yellow cards. It's not given a single yellow card till now. I think that's outside the box, and that's a yellow card. But that was outside the box. What a great run by John Stones. That was just outside the box for sure. And what a ball, Bernardo Silva to John Stones. What a run! Yes, the foul started outside the box. The contact was initiated outside the box. It's not going to be a penalty, but Cook is on a yellow card now. It's a free kick. The angle has to Phil Foden, and Foden has to go for goal. There's no way that Matthews Nunes is taking it. It is Phil Foden's free kick, and Foden's going for goal from this angle. I think he can bend it into the far post. There's no way Nunes is taking it. There's absolutely no way Matthews Nunes is taking it. This is perfectly set up for a left footer. I just want Phil Foden to touch the goalkeeper. That's it into the far corner. That's what he was trying to do. It's another thing. Didn't succeed, but Riyad Mahrez from this angle, and I think you just expect the net to pulse. Erling Haaland, Manuel Akanji. I think we need to score a second before the break. Somehow, at least test the goalkeeper once before the break. Foden did extremely well on that, and the ball was bouncing, and now it's Bournemouth turn to hit us on the break. Bournemouth give the ball away, and Phil Foden. This is an end-to-end game. Bernardo Silva is almost through there. Bernardo Silva is through. I think Bernardo should have just gone for goal over there. Bernardo should have just trusted his instinct, and he should have just tried to hit it into the far corner. I think Bernardo should have gone for goal there. What a ball that is from deep, from Matthews Nunes and from Phil Foden actually. I think Bernardo should have just stepped inside, and there he should have just hit it. Or he should have at least crossed it onto the far post. 5 more minutes to go. Plus, I think a minute of added time. So, 6 more minutes in a way for half time. We have been shit at corners, and there's a new set piece coach as well. So, let's see what's in it. It's a Bournemouth throw. Rodri gets the ball. That is wonderful from Rodri. That's a free kick to City. I think this is not in a good region, but are we just trying to protect the one lead or what from so early on? We need to get a second somewhere before half time just to relax a bit more. Everyone's coming up for this free kick, but don't think it's from a region where it could cause concern for Bournemouth. It's too far out. You would almost need someone like a Douglas Lewis or a Kyle Walker just running and smashing it, hoping it will go into the net. Oh, this is interesting. Bernardo Silva's played in. Bournemouth clear. Honestly, the idea was good, but the execution wasn't that good, to be honest. Matthew Akanji did extremely well there. It's Matthews Nunes, Kovacic to Akanji. It's not Akanji, but Nunes who did very well. It's Bernardo Silva. Ah, Phil Foden on his weaker foot. It was there to be hit, but that was excellent from City. They are manipulating the ball very well. Bournemouth have got the ball, and it was offside. I think the player Clivert was offside over there anyway. Look at Kovacic there. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful from Kovacic. And the ball to Nune, he's the way he drives through the midfield is just excellent. Nunes back to Ake. He just brought everyone up the pitch. Manuel Akanji, not well known for his crossing, but fell forward and City have camped upon much half. Let's see. I think it's 1 minute of added time. 3 minutes of added time. That is very good. City have camped on the edge of Bournemouth's box. Matthews Nunes. Bournemouth clear, but City will get the ball back. It's Manuel Akanji. Final few testing minutes for Bournemouth. Just clearing the headers. Instead of crossing, I think City should, I mean, try low crosses instead of aerial crosses. But Manuel Akanji again. Ah, Bernardo Silva just giving the ball away there. Bit more. That's good defending back, Kanji. It's a Bournemouth throw. Nathan Ake had done extremely well over there. This is one of the best left backs in the Premier League at the moment. There's someone who's giving the ball away. Akanji, get close, get close, get close. This is wonderful defending. This is what Kyle Walker failed to do against Gordon, against Isak and stuff. And this is what Akanji had done over there. That is very well defended again, but almost we were Foden pinched it, taking it to a counter attack. I think that will be that. Times clocks just run out of time, and I think that will be that. I think that is offside anyway. Flag was up. Flag was up. That was offside, and I think that will be half time. That will be half time. City's defending has been immaculate. There are, I think if he picks this lineup for Chelsea, we don't concede any goals, and he plays this way, we don't concede goals against Chelsea, or for that matter against Newcastle or Everton or Brentford at 1-0 or so. I think Kyle Walker hasn't been good defensively, and this lineup for me looks the most balanced. And Kovacic has been just excellent in the middle of midfield. He has just driven things. He has just manipulated everything. But I think Pep will be expecting more. Pep will be expecting more than that one goal, to be honest. It was all about Matthew Kovacic over there. He will not be on the assist chart and everything, but it was all about Matthew Kovacic over there. The cross, I'm sorry, the pass from Matthew Kovacic was just out of this world. He is one of the best at breaking the lines, and this is what he's been brought to do at this club. It's just that he's had a slow integration uh, into City. He's been hit by injuries that have not helped, and suddenly all of the people have been telling Mateo Kovacic is not good enough. Mateo Kovacic is. Now, why did we even sign Mateo Kovacic? Is he the replacement for Gundogan? I will tell you who's the replacement for Gundogan. Just go and check the amount of goals which Gundogan scored last season and Phil Foden scored this season. For me, I don't know who people might say anything. For me, Phil Foden is Gundogan's replacement from last season. At least the goals that Gundogan has bought. Because for the whole of last season, Gundogan scored 8 goals in the Premier League, and Foden is just halfway, little more than halfway, and Phil Foden's already had 9 goals. I expect Phil Foden to score at least 15 goals just in the Premier League before the end of the season, which I think might be up there in the record books of highest goal scored by a midfielder in the Premier League. So, and people were telling Gundogan only scores clutch goals. I mean, Gundogan scores clutch goals. Foden will also scores clutch goals. Brentford, Everton, what all were those goals? Leipzig, Crystal Palace, even though we didn't win that game. So Phil Foden for me is one of the best midfielders in Europe based on form at this moment. Just based on form, nothing else. And this defense for me has been one of the best defensive lineups. Ake, Diaz, Stones, Akanji, we just and with Rodri in the middle, Ederson goalkeeper. These six at the back are the best and the best defensive lineup you can put forward in Europe. They're just so good. Bayaji says every alternate game, Haaland taking finishing lessons from Nunez. Honestly, Bayaji, he went through, and I was like, He went through, and I was not even seeing Haaland. I was watching the net. I was watching the net. I was expecting the net to bulge, and then and hit it outside. I just don't know. But then I think that shot, which was deflected and Foden off the goalkeeper, and Foden hit the goal. That was a good attempt from Haaland, I think. But for me, the star of the show has been Mateo Kovacic. Bournemouth's pressing has been intense in the midfield. I mean, I think Gary O'Neill has taken lessons from the Chelsea game, how Chelsea press City, and he has tried the same thing here, because you've seen on one or two occasions the Bournemouth striker coming in on Rodri, and Rodri also unable to move in the midfield on certain occasions. But Mateo Kovacic was the difference. We didn't have Kovacic in midfield against Chelsea. We had Kovacic in midfield here. Kovacic is unpressable. If you're seeing three Bournemouth players are on him, and and still he's able to find a way. Still he's able to turn with the ball, find a way, get the ball forward. And that Phil Foden's goal was not about Haaland taking the shot. It was not about John Stones in the build-up. It was all about what happened in the middle of the journey, and that was Mateo Kovacic picking up the ball, escaping the press from two Bournemouth players, playing a through ball to Erling Haaland, which took out the entire Bournemouth defense. The goal was everything about Mateo Kovacic. What a player! What are this thing? Arush says Haaland needs to work on finishing a bit more. I mean, it seems a bit harsh, right, Arush? Because here you have a striker who has not played 2 months, 2.5 months in the Premier League, and is still the top scorer in the Premier League. He is said to be one of the most lethal strikers in Europe. They say you don't get any better than Erling Haaland, and his numbers back that. Be it in the Champions League, more so in the Premier League. So I don't think I don't think it's about working on finishing for Haaland. I think it's about that. I think strikers generally they go through these phases where they just try too hard, and it's just not clicking. For me, one of the hardest things about being a striker is as a manager, you can't teach him anything. Raheem Sterling, why couldn't Pep or Arteta teach him finishing? Can't teach a striker finishing, I think. It all comes naturally, it all comes by instinct. So I think it's just that all strikers go through those phases, and Erling Haaland for me is going through that kind of a phase with the striker. Aru says Kovacic is playing aggressive today, bro. I think Arush Kovacic is also looking at his best, at his best today. I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe the role that Pep Guardiola has given him. But for me, Mateo Kovacic is one of the best ball carriers in Europe. He is one of the best beaters of the press. There's a video on YouTube which is Master in Beating the Press. You just enter the title Master in Beating the Press, and you get Kovacic clips. And Bournemouth are pressing aggressively. I think the role Pep has asked him to play has just been the reason why he's looking very good. Because if you look at early on in the season against Burnley and stuff, the first match, Pep was almost asking Kovacic to play in the attacking midfield role, come forward. Otherwise, against Arsenal, Pep played him as a CDM since Rodri was not there. I don't think Pep has ever given Kovacic this kind of a role where he's tasked with picking up the ball from Rodri and then traveling with the ball or making those passes with the ball. I don't think Kovacic has ever been given that license to play those through balls. Bayaji says City are in control, but more goals are needed to improve goal difference. Forget goal difference, Bayaji. I'm tense. I'm tense because 1-0 is never a good score line in a football match. Last season, December the 31st, it spoiled all of our new year. We were 1-0 up against Everton at the Etihad. Everton had 0 shots and we had like 20 shots. And then Demari Gray scores a worldie from outside the box, and the match is 1-1. Crystal Palace 2-0 cruising, 15 minutes to go, 2-2. So anything can happen in football. So forget the goal difference. I'm actually afraid that afraid of those kind of things happening. So I just want us to score more goals, at least 2, 3 goals. I think at least two more goals. to make us feel secure. Arush says, I think we will be in full form till first week of April or end of March. Hope no more injuries ahead of the season. The thing, Arush, with that is, I mean, we cannot win the title until the end of March or in the first week of April. You cannot win the title, whatever you do in that time frame, but you can very well lose the title. So that is the biggest fear, looking at the near misses against Everton, against Brentford. Just imagine if Ayer hadn't slipped against Brentford, because that game was looking impossible for us to break down Brentford. So so just think we have to be careful not to lose the title till the first week of April or till the end of March. For Champions League, it's perfect, but for the Premier League, I honestly think, I think if we go through March without a loss, I think we win the Premier League. Because in March you're playing Liverpool and you're playing Arsenal. I think if you can win all of the games in March, I think you win the Premier League. I think the first week of April, if we arrive there undefeated without dropping any points, which means we would have defeated Arsenal and Liverpool, I think we win the Premier League. That's the thing. So this month of March is so crucial. Arush says, yeah, I agree. For title, we need to fight from now. Liverpool are gonna do everything to make a good farewell for club, but we will be in good form for UCL. Arush, I think Pep has learned from his experiences at Bayern Munich, because at Bayern the title would have been over by December, January, and all of the players would kind of lose form, lose the motivation. In Champions League, Bayern would always exit early under Pep Guardiola. I think he has never allowed that to happen in the Premier League. You you would say might be because Liverpool are a great team. Bayern have never faced competition from the likes of Liverpool and last season Arsenal. But then I would also say Pep has consciously done certain things in the first half of the season. How easy it would have been this season. Just start with the entire lineup that played the Champions League last season. Okay, De Bruyne was injured, but other than that, put Foden in De Bruyne's place, back four the same, and start it. And we would have cruised. We would have maybe finished off the league by January. But every season, Pep doesn't do that. Pep experiments in the first half of the season. I think it's a conscious effort from Pep as well to make sure we are ready to go from February, March onwards. So it'll be interesting. By the way, Manchester Derby is coming up. It was so satisfying seeing them lose against Fulham today. And the Rags were thinking that they can creep into the top four. It was great watching them lose to Fulham today. Fantastic. I was like cheering when Iwobi hit that goal. JSK says Kovacic and Stones was what we needed against Chelsea. But JSK, I think we need to kick Pep on the back, because literally we need to kick Pep on the back, because John Stones was bloody available for Chelsea, and yet he chose not to play him. And Pep chose, and Kovacic I think was back. I don't know about that situation, but Pep chose to play Alvarez in the midfield. You know what killed us in that Chelsea game. The press from Bournemouth is almost similar to the press from Chelsea. There's no difference in the quality. Bournemouth are a very good pressing team, and the press is matched by quality. But when Chelsea were pressing, Julian Alvarez was playing as a second pivot to Rodri. If you go and look back at the Chelsea match highlights and stuff, Alvarez was the pivot to Rodri. And today, when Bournemouth are pressing, Mateo Kovacic is the pivot to Rodri. I think that is the game. There went the game. Imagine a pivot of Kovacic versus a pivot of Alvarez. Alvarez is a striker. He's not press resistant. He's not a good passer of the ball. His first touch is not good. Three things which are must have qualities if you want to get through the press, if you want to break the opposition's press. Alvarez doesn't have any, and Pep played him as a pivot to Rodri. That is where we lost the. I mean, it feels like a loss, even though it's a draw. It if it feels like a loss. That I think when the lineups were announced, we gave away points in that Chelsea game. Honestly, we should have lost it if Chelsea would have taken their chances. We should have lost it in the first half. Never mind people telling Haaland if Haaland would have finished it. Well, if Chelsea would have finished it, we would have been 4-0 down in the first half. Arush says, "Bro, do you do watch along for every city match?" Yes, Arush. Yes, Arush, we do watch alongs for every city match. For every city match, we are here. So you're welcome to join the community, and it's just wonderful. We have it's just wonderful. We have some very good discussions here, and yeah, we are there for every city watch along. Baya, this is Pep's dynamism in PL has made him stand out among the current crop of managers. Pep's dynamism as well as Bayaji Pep's courage to try something new. Because Thomas Tuchel, what has happened to Thomas Tuchel? Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League. That was, by the way, one of the worst Chelsea teams to win the Champions League against us. And he tried the very same thing and players got bored. Antonio Conte, 2016, Pep's first season, won the Premier League against us, tried to do the same tactics out. I think Pep Guardiola has got the courage to change what is working and bring on the new, this thing. So the players are motivated to learn something new. Players are thinking, wow, this is something different from last season. We have to work on it. So I think that is what has kept Pep Guardiola always on the front foot, always two things, two steps above, two steps ahead of the rest. People might say money, this and that, but United squad, for example, is far more costlier than our squad. United have spent more than us on the transfers. Chelsea have spent more than us on transfers. Why are PSG not able to win the Champions League? Why did Real Madrid lose the lose the Premier League last season? Sorry, lose the La Liga last season to Barcelona who didn't spend anything. So money is just an excuse used by opposition fans. That's it, because they can't compete with us on the field. To be honest, I think it's just the Pep Guardiola's proactiveness and stuff that has kept him on the front foot. Bayaji says with Kova in lineup instead of Alvarez, Rodri would have been allowed to bulldoze his way through Chelsea. Kova would have been able to bulldoze his way through Chelsea, Bayaji. Kova would have been able to bulldoze his way. Just one pass like this, and what was that absolute thrash defensive? Disashi, Colwell, Chelwell, none of those Chelsea defenders knew how to defend. Gusto, Malo Gusto. The Sunday League teams defend, pub teams defend better than those Chelsea defenders. Chelsea back four and the goalkeeper are just almighty shit. And still we were not able to score goals. Alvarez, the moment they selected Alvarez, we lost the game. Arush's second half started. Hope we score two more goals at least. We have to score, Arush. I cannot sit here and go through another watch along tense. So already we have gone through Brentford, Everton, and all of those things. We cannot go through. Copenhagen was tense to a certain extent, especially when they equalized. Not another tense watch along, Arush. Need a bit calming of the nerves. Just need City to score two early goals in the second half to sit back, have a chill talk about transfers, things around the club and stuff. Bayaji says Rico Lewis is an abundant baby since the Club World Cup. Bayaji, I think even if Pep played Rico Lewis, I don't know what's happened to Ruben Diaz here. I don't know what's happened to Ruben Diaz. Don't know what was it. I think I don't know what was it. But I think Bayaji, even if he had played Rico Lewis in place of Julian Alvarez, we win that Chelsea game. Because Rico Lewis is press resistible as well. The mistake is not playing Alvarez because, like I said, whenever Alvarez has played close to Haaland, if you closely go back and observe the eight assists, seven assists, I'm sorry, seven assists or seven goals which Alvarez has scored for City in the Premier League, every time except one assist, Alvarez has been close to Haaland whenever he's been very good. Almost like a shadow striker. And every time Alvarez has played deep in midfield, he's been shit. By the way, I think Oscar Bob deserved to start the game, but then I understand Bournemouth down the flanks are dangerous and Pep wanted Nunes defensive physicality, I think. Bournemouth attacking down the wings, and that's well defended. That's very well defended. I think it was an offside. I don't know why the linesman always raised the flag late against us. I just don't know. I think we need to get an early second goal to calm the nerves because all of the demons of your Crystal Palace, of your Everton last season, everything will just be roaming in the mind. Erling Haaland as well. Loses the ball. That was a great touch from the Bournemouth midfield, but Kovacic is there. Look at it. That's what midfield instincts. That's what midfield instincts will do. Bernardo Silva, no foul. Natanaki does very well. Arus, I have a gut feeling that either Kovacic or Stones are gonna score today. Hope Akanji scores, Arus, because I have in my fantasy Premier League team. Hope Akanji scores. But with Kovacic scoring, I think the odds are very little. I think in the last 3 years or something, Kovacic has 2 goals or something like that. The stat is insane. That's why I get so angry when I watch Kovacic shoot from distance. And by the way, if Kovacic scores today, we are gonna see a Puskas award contender because Kovacic, they say, only scores bangers. He does not know how to score ordinary goals. That's a through ball on. There's no offside. There's no offside. There, Ruben, don't let him on the inside. Ruben, cover the inside. Cover the inside. Push him on the outside. Yes, well done. Push him on the outside, mate. Yes. That's what Kyle Walker was not able to do in all of the games, which all of the previous games. Newcastle is an example. We need to score the second. This game, the way Bournemouth are playing, I think they're attacking us. I don't. If even if it's a clean sheet, it will be a tough clean sheet to keep. Ah, is it a corner? I think it's a corner. Better be a goal kick. That was a nervy moment there. Getting in behind, getting in behind Akanji over there. Akanji does well to, retreat. Arus says, "What are your views on Kimmich to City?" I wanted it to happen, Arus. Literally, just imagine Rodri, Joshua Kimmich, and Kevin De Bruyne. That would have been one of. We have given the ball away to Bournemouth in a very good area. Ah, that was close. Clivert can strike them from distance. Justin Clivert. That was close. Little bit bend on it, and Edison would have been struggling. Backed off, and need to score a second. Anyway, Arush, I think Kimmich to City was, I think it was far more possible than people thought it is. But the only thing is, oh, Erling Haaland is through. Erling Haaland is through. Has to score. Tight angle, but Haaland has options. Erling, it was on your weaker foot. You had to pick out someone over there. Haaland is through. 3 times he was through today. Good defending, I would say. A good block, but I think he had options. Two people converged on Haaland. Arus says Haaland with another defender down, but good save. I think it was a good block as well, Arus, because I think it hit the defender who was down on the floor and went out, to be honest. That was close. It's another corner for City, and we've been shit at corners. Uh, Matthews Nunez to take it's Wilford and I think actually to take the corner. We have been shit at corners. Nunez, in fact, this is a surprise. Nunez is good in the air. Why is he taking corners? That is wonderful retrieve from Matthews Nunes. It's Manuel Akanji, but Bournemouth get the ball back. But Akanji gets it back. This is a basketball game, mate, and I don't think my nerves can hold this. How many basketball games have we seen this season? Chelsea, Bournemouth. Ah, very good ball. This is an excellent ball. Why is no one bloody on the far post? That was an open goal tap in on the far post. Bloody hell. Why is no one there on the far post? The far post was open. Ah, what a run there. What a run there. What a ball from Manuel Akanji and what a run there from Phil Foden. Why is Bernardo Silva not there? Why is Bernardo Silva not there on the far post? I think these are the situations where Alvarez is useful, especially when he's a shadow striker to Haaland. Because a striker's instinct, Haaland's striking instinct took him to the center of the post. Another striker's instinct would take him far post. But Arus says, I think we are good at attacking and keeping pressure. We just need to work a bit on our finishing. Sometimes when positioning as well, Arush, I think. For example, there was no one there on the far post. So I think positioning as well is a bit of a problem. I think, yes, Haaland's been bad at finishing, but apart from that, I think our finishing has been all right because whenever KDB's played, he's been clutch in his finishing. He's already had 2 goals in 2-3 games that he's played. Natanake is down on the bloody floor. What was that? What a save that is from Edison. Was it a save from Edison? This game is going out of control. This game is just going out of control. Erling, there's a counter on. There's a counter on. Give it on the wing. Give it to the wing. But what the hell just happened there? Whose save was it? I just couldn't see. Whose save was it? Was it Edison with the save? Wow, what a save that was. But I think apart from finishing, apart from Haaland, I think finishing has been all right. Foden's been clutch. This is excellent. This is excellent. John Stones is running through on goal, and the dink just bought time for the defenders. Erling Haaland. But what just happened at the other end? This game, I don't know how this game is still 1-0. They're showing the replay. What just happened at the other end? I think Semenyo on the right. Natanake just falls over. That was that. The shot didn't have any power, honestly, and it was just beyond Solanke, and Ruben Diaz does extremely well there. Right place, right time. So I think Karush, apart, yeah, exactly. They just showed it so quickly that I thought it was off Edison, but it was Ruben Diaz. That was lucky. That was actually lucky because had Solanke been again, had Solanke been a little bit here and there in his positioning, I think he would have had a tap in. But the problem is, Arush, like you said, most of the chances fall to Haaland, and he's the one who is out of form in terms of finishing. Because Phil Foden is having 9 goals, and he's hit what, at least 6 goals in his last 4-5 matches. I think we need to look at Phil Foden's. No, Kovacic has been wonderful. His passing has been very good. Mateo Kovacic. We are camping around Bournemouth's half, but we need to be very careful when they break. Why can't we get a game where we smash a team like Arsenal do? 5-0, 6-0, just sit back and enjoy. By the way, Arush, the Kimmich one is interesting because I thought, and a lot of people in this community actually thought that Kimmich could be done in the summer, but the only condition was had Thomas Tuchel stayed as coach. But now Thomas Tuchel goes. They've said Thomas Tuchel is facing the Thomas Tuchel will go. So I think a new coach will come. We do not know how the dynamics will be. If a new coach comes, and it's generally not so easy to lure those German players away from the club unless something's fundamentally bad. So I think now with Thomas Tuchel going, I don't think we can get Kimmich. I don't think Kimmich is possible. But I actually think we get Lucas Paqueta next season. I think we are either getting Kimmich or we are getting Lucas Paqueta. Bournemouth now capping in our half. We need to be ready to break. Aru says Lucas would be great too. Finally, Arush, I found someone who is agreeing with me, Lucas Paqueta, because most of the people here don't rate Lucas Paqueta, to be honest. For me, he's the. That was close. We need to get a second goal here, Arush. We need to get a second goal here. That was close. Bournemouth are getting close. Bournemouth are knocking on our door. That was bloody close. Ah, on another day that would have creeped in. We need to get the second goal. We need to get the second goal. I just want Pep to. Can Pep dare to bring on Doku here and throw the dice? That was a great pass by Bournemouth. Exactly. I'm actually not scared by opponents who park the bus, but I'm scared by opponents who and it's a through ball, and that is one of the worst passes I've seen in the last however many years from City. What a worst cross into the box. I think it was Matheus Nunes with the cross. What a worst cross. With Lucas Paqueta, the thing is, I think Lucas Paqueta is after Bernardo Silva. I think Lucas and Julian Alvarez. Lucas Paqueta is the best presser of the ball. His pressures per 90 are just somewhere else. If you look at the graph, they're like one of the best in the Premier League. His work rate, his engine, his quality on the ball, the way he plays those through passes forward, but the way he contains the ball as well. I think Lucas Paqueta has everything written in him to be the perfect Pep player. I think a midfield of Rodri, Lucas Paqueta, and Foden would be clutch because with Paqueta in there, Foden will have more license to go forward. Just pass the ball bloody wide, switch the ball. That can they play a through ball to Haaland? Ah, that is not KDB. If KDB was there, that would have been on a plate to Haaland. Honestly, John Stones and has done and has tried his best. Arush says Doku coming on. With Doku again, Arush, I want Doku to come on, but then I also feel afraid whenever he comes on because on transitions, Doku still has a lot to learn. He gives the ball away in areas where you just cannot give the ball away. I know he's improved a bit, but Copenhagen was an example. Until Grealish was there, it was as if we were looking. Copenhagen were almost feeling, let us get another ball. We're not going to get the ball today. The control was there, but as soon as Natanake with a mistake, but luckily nothing results from it. But yeah, when Jack Grealish went off from that Copenhagen game, Copenhagen sense there was a chance to hit us on the transition, and that's what they did. So with Doku, that is the fear. Phil Foden pinches the ball there. Phil Foden does extremely well. Ah, and I think it's a goal kick for Bournemouth, and I think the change will be made now. Jeremy Doku coming on, and will it be Bernardo Silva or will it be Matheus Nunes? It's Matheus Nunes will be replaced. 27 is Nunes, of course, yes. I think Pep Guardiola has rolled on the dice now. He is willing to concede a goal, but he wants us to outscore Bournemouth. He's just thrown on the dice. I think Pep Guardiola has sensed Bournemouth are just knocking on the door. You need to score goals. With Nunez, everything's perfect unless the final pass. Arush says, I'm gonna go now, sadly. I have a board paper on Monday. Hope we win today. Thank you, Arush, and all the best for your exam. And it was wonderful having you on the show. Do join us whenever you're free. Do join us whenever you can. It was wonderful having you on the show, and you'll surely enjoy being in this community. All the best, Arush, and yeah, Arush, see you Wednesday against Luton in the FA Cup game. That will be another hell of a game. Luton away under the lights. FA Cup will never be easy. There are no easy games in this period. See you, Arush. And City get the ball back. Erling Haaland, Phil Ford, and give it to Doku. Give it to Doku. Yes, Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku there. Jeremy Doku. He's done well to recycle it. Ruben Diaz. That's an excellent interception there by Ruben Diaz. Diaz is having a wonderful game. And Mateo Kovacic, you can't press the guy. That is a wonderful ball into Jeremy Doku, and Jeremy Doku controls it. Wow, he's 1v1 running with the defender, running with his fullback. He's 1v1. It's a corner for City, I guess. But he's been surrounded by three players. Just observe, Doku, if you have been surrounded by three players, there must be a space somewhere. That is a wonderful touch from Jeremy Doku. The ball was excellent. I think it's a goal kick to Bournemouth. No, it's a corner to us. Can we at least make one corner count? It's a bloody sixth corner. Phil Foden, outswinger. Another shit corner. Jeremy Doku with the ball. Ruben Diaz is telling handball. Ruben Diaz is telling handball. He's the only one who pretty much charted it. I think VR will check it. VR will check it. I don't know if it's handball or not. I haven't seen it honestly. It went into the crowd in the corner. He's used a hand to control it, to be honest. I don't think handball will be given for that anyway. Natanake does extremely well there. Natanake does extremely well. Ruben Diaz appreciating him, and it's a corner for Bournemouth. That is wonderful from Natanake there. It's a corner for Bournemouth, and we need to be careful. We need to defend the corner as well. Haaland was pushed down in the box. That was a foul, but again, well defended. That was well defended. Dominic Solanke with the attempt, but that was well defended by City, by Ederson. Good goalkeeping, and it's a Bournemouth change now. It's a double change. I'll have a bit of water and come, to be honest. Is it Dominic Solanke who's going off? I don't know. Jack Grealish is in there. He's not in the subs, right? But Pep said he's close to a return for the Manchester Derby. We need to score a goal here. Can Pep bring on Kevin De Bruyne now? That is a good block by Ruben Diaz. Need to score a goal, mate. Need to score a goal here. Bournemouth are knocking on the door. Bournemouth are knocking tough away game. Need to score a goal. Akanji did not do well there. He committed, but again good defending. That is well broken up by Erling Haaland. That's a foul on Erling Haaland. And it's a yellow card. Ha! That was a corner. I think it was a deflection, but it was a good shot from Mateo Kovacic. You you wanted Rodri to arrive on it, right? No, there was a bit of a deflection, but it was a good attempt there from Mateo Kovacic. And for a moment, I thought Foden was going off, but no, Foden's taking the corner. I expect in the FA Cup match against Luton, Oscar Bob and Rico Lewis to start. Let us finish the job here first. Phil Foden. Ah, we are having chances to break. It's just that we're not able to. That is very well intercepted. It's another corner for City. We need to score somehow. What a shit set piece that is. Oh, Edison does well. Edison does well. Ah, just tense. It's just so tense. Rodri does well there. Getting in the muddle and telling who's the boss, who's the emperor. We have not used Doku's flank as much. Kovacic, yes, I've been saying this, and Kovacic picks out Doku. Bournemouth, the pressing, there is space. You have the best striker to run into space in world football. Can't we create a chance for him? That is the thing. One more goal, I think, and we should be able to close out this game. One more goal. Ha! How did Erling Haaland not score there? That was a chance for Erling Haaland, to be honest. What a chance. Good save by the keeper. But that was excellent play. I think in that situation, you can't expect Haaland to give it to Kovacic. Is going one on one. He will try to score. Julian Alvarez coming on. I think Haaland's night is up. Alvarez is coming on now. It will be a different kind of a striker. He'll press from the middle. Sorry, he'll press from the front. Again, I think today's one-on-ones were a bit difficult, to be honest. And it's a Bournemouth throw. I don't know what Foden was thinking over there. And that's a missed pass by Bournemouth. And it's not Haaland who's there. It's Alvarez who's there. I do not think can play those long balls. Alvarez is quick, but not. It's not as quick as Erling Haaland. It's a throw into City, I think. Bournemouth is preparing for another change. We need to score another goal. Bournemouth are through. That's a foul in City's favour. Well done, Kovacic. Well done, Kovacic. Again, look at Manuela Kanji's. So look at Doku's. That was outside the penalty box. Anyways, This is just gonna be so tense. That's another foul in City's favor. Mateo Kovacic is just doing all of the heavy lifting. He's taking so many fouls for the team. Pep Guardiola is having a hand on Bournemouth's manager. I don't know what that is. It's a City throw there, and I don't know how does it feel when Pep Guardiola himself comes on and puts a hand around you. I just don't know how does it feel. It's another change coming from Bournemouth, and Julian Alvarez with the ball. Bournemouth are just pressing so high. Jeremy Doku does well there, and it's Nathan Ake. City have to keep the ball. City have to keep calm. Can we carve out a second goal now? That will be so important. Why are we suddenly not able to score goals? I don't know. Kovacic, Doku, Bernardo Silva, Manuel Akanji. What a ball to Jeremy Doku. 1v1. I think he has to go inside fast. And it's a corner for City. Doku had to literally run it Scott. I think it's Alex Scott. I don't know. Doku literally had to run it Scott and then get his shot away. But Haaland should have finished one of his one-on-ones, and this would have been much more comfortable for us. Recycle the ball. That's the thing. I don't know why we are so shit at set pieces as well. Phil Foden. That is wonderful from Nathan Ake there. I think it's a Bournemouth throw, and they come again. Ah, He should have retained the ball over there. There's no one there for Bournemouth, luckily. Semenyo was almost there. Into score, he was onside. Ah, Kevin De Bruyne is coming on. This is interesting. KDB is coming on. Kovacic is coming off. Took some very interesting subs from Pep. He's not wanting to close the game off. Otherwise, he probably would have bought on Kyle Walker. I don't know, or some defender if Walker is even in the squad. But he's bringing on an offensive change, which is interesting. Again, now Kevin De Bruyne. What will Bournemouth do with the press? Which means Foden can play more with Alvarez as a shadow striker. I hope Pep plays Foden as a shadow striker and not De Bruyne. Kovacic has been excellent. Phil Foden again. He needed to release that ball faster. Turnover. I do not want this Phil Foden turnover to result in a goal. Ah, that was close. Who is this? D Youngo or someone? He's just, skipping past players like that don't exist. Gautam says, just get the job done. What is this, Gautam? Every bloody match, this is what is happening. Why can't we score two goals and sit in peace and watch the match? Why is it that every bloody match the same thing is happening? Just can't understand. Every bloody match. Look at the high lines from both the teams. Foden needs to recycle the ball. Kevin De Bruyne in space, and look at the speed of passing of Kevin De Bruyne there. Give the ball to KDB. That's a free kick for City. It's KDB. Whatever happens, the referee will watch. It's bloody KDB. Clear foul. It's a free kick now. Can KDB get the job done? Can KDB finish it? Ah, there's no way he can go directly on goal with this. But can KDB finish it? Can he get another assist? That is a good punch away by the keeper, and then it's Jeremy Doku right now. Doku! What an idiot! Giving the ball away. Gautam says Grealish needed for a super pass. Did you see Gautam what did Doku do? That's the reason why exactly Pep prefers Grealish over Doku. And people just cannot understand. Bournemouth are making more attacking changes. But Gautam, the other superpower man is also left, right? Erling Haaland. Sinestra is coming on for Bournemouth. And Enes Unal is coming on for Bournemouth. If you remember, Gautam, Enes Unal was at City. I think 2015, 16, under Manuel Pellegrini, they bought him, and then he went on several loans. He was said to be the next Zlatan due to his stature, physicality, the way he plays and stuff, and his own al. This is going to be a hard watch, mate. It's going to be very, very hard to watch. Jeremy Doku does extremely well there with the ball. Jeremy Doku does superbly there with the ball. For a moment, I thought he would give away penalty, but no. Doku does extremely well there with the ball. Ah! Giving the ball away again. Bernardo gives it straight to a Bournemouth player, and it's Kevin De Bruyne with the ball. City go forward, Phil Foden. Ah, just that Alvarez cannot retain it. Just trip the bloody player up. Don't know. Enes Zonal. I thought Enes Zonal almost scored over there. I think Enes Zonal almost scored over there. That could have been. Did you look at the header, Gautam? Did you look at the header of Enes Zonal? I thought it went in, to be honest. Far corner, almost. Almost, right? Ah, wow, that was such a scare. I thought Bournemouth had just scored over there. Edison was beaten. It was in the corner. Then there's nothing Edison could do. Again, Bournemouth breaking. I don't know what sort of a clearance was that. City are hanging on here. Gotham says that was scary. Gotham, we need all your defensive players. City are just hanging on here. My God. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is running. Can he finish it off? He plays it out wide. Jeremy Doku, good. He retains the ball. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Just retain the bloody ball. That's the thing. Just be smart. Retain the ball. Just be smart and retain the ball. That's a free kick in City's favor. Look, look at Adam Smith, how is he infuriated. Gautam, how would they have tolerated Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland if they're doing this to Bernardo Silva, who's a saint by all of these comparisons? This is a free kick. I want City to hit it short and keep the ball. Still, there's a bloody lot of time. 6 minutes to go, bloody hell. Who is adding on so much of extra time? I mean, what happened in the second half to add on bloody 6 bloody minutes? There's no one in the box as well. So, I think City will keep the ball, which is a good decision. Doku does an extremely bad thing to give away the ball. Bournemouth keeper goes long. That's well defended by Manuel again. Excellent defending. This is defending at its finest. You'll feel you're watching a bloody Jose Mourinho team. That is wonderful defending from Ruben Diaz. It was actually Rodri who put the ball away. Gautam says it's giving me UCL final vibes, and now bloody hell, it's a long throw as well. Dominic Solanke tried a bicycle kick over there. Dominic Solanke, it's Liverpool striker, bicycle kick. Almost it would have been written in the stars. Bloody Gautam, bloody hell, the time as well. The time as well doesn't tick over fast, right? In these moments, the seconds go so slowly. Again, giving the ball away to Bernardo Silva does extremely well. They're getting away with the ball, and it's a free kick in favor of City. Very well done, Bernardo Silva. Exactly, Gautam. It's giving me the UCL final vibes as well. Though not as tense, but Inter were having chance after chance. Right. In a way, you're right. Inter was having chance after chance. The only thing is, our defenders are defending for us here. But in that UCL final, Lukaku defended the thing for us. It's a Bournemouth throw in. And it's the last 30 seconds left. Kevin De Bruyne receives a yellow card. Gautam, need all your defensive bliss here. Bournemouth on the attack. 96 gone. This could be their last attack. Nathan! This is very well done. And City on a counter attack here. Can we finish it off? Kevin. De Bruyne can't finish it off there. When will the referee bloody blow? Gautam, does the referee want to blow the whistle? When will the referee blow? And yes, the referee has blown. City have won 1-0. Wow. Gautam, wow, what a match this was. This was bloody tense. This was like watching a Jose Mourinho team play. the defending at the end. I mean, watching this defense, I do not. And Gautam just like that day we did it. Gautam, I do not know about the Premier League title, but if he picks this back four along with Rodri, of course, I think we have a damn good chance of retaining the Champions League title. I mean, Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Stones with Rodri in front of them. I mean, and Edison at the back. I mean, who are gonna break this defense? Not even Real Madrid. I don't see a team in Europe being able to break this defense with this personnel. Ake, Diaz, Stones, Akanji. With Kyle Walker, I feel a little bit vulnerable. With Kyle Walker, I feel that he's not having that composure nowadays. He's like showing attackers on the inside instead of on the outside and stuff. But Akanji, immense today. Ruben Diaz looks like he's back to his best. Nathan Ake, few of the tackles is put in was fantastic. John Stones didn't put a foot wrong. Was immaculate over there, getting into the midfield, running through the midfield as well. I mean, what a defense this is. This is last year's UCL defense, right? Wow. I mean, again, like I said, I do not know. I do not know with the Premier League title, but with this defense, the Champions League, the UCL, we could be one of those elite teams who could retain the UCL uh, and get into that list. Bayaji says against United, start with Alvarez in false nine, bring Erling later. I think Bayaji Erling Haaland would be a big problem against United because they've got donkeys at the back. United with Luke Shaw injured, especially and Lisandro Martinez injured. They've literally got Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane playing in central defense. So I think that pace could be useful with Erling Haaland. But again, I don't know against United, but I guess he'll start Julian Alvarez. But I wish even if he starts Julian Alvarez, I don't know how we can start Julian Alvarez apart from the striker position, especially after Kovacic just put in such a good display. I just don't know against United what he does. But I just do not want to see Foden on the wings against United. That's the only thing. And also the record Erling has against United, I just don't think he will drop him because Erling Haaland is what scored some 6, 7 goals against United already. Gautam says best defense of Europe. Remove Kyle Walker. I don't know what you guys think, but I think remove Kyle Walker and we have the best defense of Europe. I, I think if we do not have did not have Kyle Walker and we played Kovacic in the midfield, I think we win that Chelsea game. With this defense, I think we would have even gone invincible in the league. That's how good this defense is. Against Liverpool, I do not think we concede if we play with this defense. The problem with Kyle Walker is he is useless in the build-up. He cannot invert and then receive the ball. The only thing he can do well is burst up and down with that pace and put the cross in. And that cross as well is like he puts 10 crosses in and bloody one cross is right. And that too, Haaland doesn't finish that one cross which is right. So with Kyle Walker, literally it's limited. But with Akanji playing on the right hand side, Akanji inverting is excellent on the ball. Akanji is superb on the build up. He's near close to unpressable. How many times has Akanji given the ball away? I've not seen him given the ball away many times, especially in this match. And because Bournemouth is one of the best pressing teams, even in that Inter final, how many times has Akanji given the ball away? Not many times, right? So and Akanji going forward, his crossing is on par with Walker, even if it's not better. And one-on-ones, I thought Walker was a beast, but I think now based on form and stuff, I think Akanji is is really good in one-on-ones as well. Now, how many times has opponent skipped past Akanji? None. For me, I think Akanji starts over Walker after this performance. Bayaji says, how many times Doku lost possession in 20 minutes? Bayaji, I was like almost jumping out of my seat. Bloody hell, that corner was there, right? Doku receives the ball, he tries to dribble, he loses the ball. And Bournemouth break on us. It was a 4v3 at the back. That any Zunal header also almost came from Doku losing the possession, right? I mean, by the way, that was an almighty scare. That was an almighty scare, guys. That Enes Unal header. How many of you thought that Enes Unal header was in? For me, it was written in the stars. An ex-City player, an ex a player who was part of the City group, who's gone on loan from City several locations. Enes Zonal comes back and scores against City in the dying moments. That header was so good from Enes Zonal, just on that side of the post. It was our day, guys. It was our day. The defense was very good, but that one mistake and yeah, but it was our day all in all. Vinay is defending 10 by 10 without Walker. Vinay, honestly, I feel that why did Pep Guardiola have to sit in the restaurant to convince Walker to stay and give him the captain's armband and tell him to start? Just do not understand because we look so much better without him. I just wish he persuaded Ikai Gundogan Ladat instead of Kyle Walker. People say Kyle Walker will be useful when he's playing against Vinicius Junior and stuff. But but then you adapt, right? When you're playing against Vinicius Junior, you play Akanji and he doesn't go back. Akanji, so he doesn't go forward. Akanji just stays back in that mid block. So there's no, and Akanji has good pace as well. Akanji has good recovery pace. There's no slouch as well. It's not as fast as Walker, but he has one of the highest recovery paces after Kyle Walker. He has the highest recovery pace after Kyle Walker in City. Vinay says removing Haaland. What's Pep thinking? Just give Bournemouth a chance to run over. I actually think when after Haaland went away, I think we got more control in the midfield because Alvarez was able to join the press. But it didn't seem like that because Doku was repeatedly giving the ball away. How many times did Doku just give the ball away? I mean, looking at Doku give the ball away and Bournemouth travel in transition, I'm like thinking there is no way Doku is starting big Champions League games. I mean, I had this feeling against Copenhagen as well. Until Grealish was there, it almost seemed we were in control of the game. There was nothing that could stop us from losing control of that game. Just when Grealish went and Doku came on, you almost felt that it was inevitable. Copenhagen would break, and they broke and they scored a goal. The same thing was the feeling here. It's. I was surprised that he's brought Doku on, to be honest, because I thought he'll bring Oscar Bob on. For me, Oscar Bob retains possession well. Oscar Bob is better in small spaces. Oscar Bob is better in terms of going past the opponent. Oscar Bob is better in terms of making decisions than Doku. Might be because he's grown up in the City Academy and stuff, I don't know, but surprised that he's bought in Doku instead of Oscar Bob. Because the performance Oscar Bob gave against Newcastle, the performance Oscar Bob gave against Brentford, where Ben Mee did an excellent clearance off the line, but he was exceptional. Oscar Bob deserved a start. For me, Oscar Bob is above the picking order of both Grealish and Doku, to be honest. Bayaji says their crossing was more accurate than City's. Around 30 corners in 3 games, and every time it lands straight to the keeper. And Bayaji, we have got a new set piece coach as well. And what did that set piece coach do? He has helped to score a set piece goal against Burnley. We are, I don't know what's the criteria for getting the job of a set piece coach. Otherwise, me and you can also go and try it. I think Bayaji, we would do extremely well. I think for the kind of salary the set piece coach gets, we would read the shit out of all the books for if we are offered that kind of salary to work with City as set piece coach, and we would do much better than the set piece coach. I do not know what the set piece coach is doing. This happened in the Brentford match as well. We had a corner, and every corner in that Brentford match, not much here, but in that Brentford match, it seemed like we were giving Brentford a counter attack. Brentford were, I was scared whenever we got a corner because it was turning into an opposition counter attack. Straight to the keeper or straight to that player, they break 1-2 passes and they break on the counter with us. Bayaji says, had my heart in mouth over the 2-0 header. Bayaji, I thought it was over. Bayaji, I thought the net would bulge. I honestly thought the net would bulge because here they didn't zoom on to Enes Zunal, but it was almost from a wide angle the cameraman was showing. So the cross went in, and from a wide angle Enes Zunal headed it. I thought the header was in. Honestly, it was in the corner. It was in, and I thought he was not celebrating because he was ex-City. I was just relieved to see it wasn't. And but honestly, I think against this is becoming a recurring pattern. teams are realizing more and more when they're playing against City that if you sit back, you're like you're almost like offering City the win without even the match starting. Teams are realizing that the best way against City is to engage with the press, is to counter press City, is to go all in all. Because then there'll be more then there's more chance of turnover and then their striker can play much more on the break than sitting patiently and getting the ball off us. Which is not easy. More and more teams are realizing that. Hence, the press is intense. And by the way, Erling Haaland should have scored. Erling Haaland should have scored. He has had so many chances. No, why is not doing that? But anyway, he's actually scored the most important one. Glad he didn't miss that Brentford one. Bayaji says Luton scored header like that. Exactly, Bayaji. Luton exactly scored header like that from a counter from our corner. I think it was Ogbine who scored the header for Brighton. But yeah, I think teams are engaging with us more in terms of pressing. I think the most important player for us will be I think the most important player for us will be Mateo Kovacic from now and the end of the season. Mateo Kovacic will decide how many competitions we can compete on or not because just imagine in this midfield if Julian Alvarez would have started in the midfield as a as a pivot to Rodri and not Mateo Kovacic. I don't think we win this game. On the contrary, I think it would have been 1-0 to Bournemouth or 2-1 to Bournemouth. Alvarez would not have Alvarez would not have sustained that kind of Bournemouth pressing. Mateo Kovacic, the man with the heavy lifting. How many bloody times did he bail Doku out? Doku gives the ball away, and Kovacic, bails him out by taking the ball, shielding the ball, by running at Bournemouth's defense, by taking out the ball from Bournemouth's press. And Mateo Kovacic was just, he was just immense today. He was unpressable. Score sheet might say fell forward, and the score sheet might show our defense with 8 on 10, 9 on 10 ratings. But for me, the man of the match today is Mateo Kovacic. The guy is, I suggest all of you to watch that video of Mateo Kovacic. The video is a master class in escaping the press. Just type master class in escaping the press, and there are a couple of one or two videos about Kovacic. The way he escapes the press is just super. For me, Kovacic is the man of the match. With Kovacic playing like this, I cannot see how Pep restores Alvarez into this midfield. And by the way, against Luton at in midweek in the FA Cup, I don't know, it's quarter final or round of 16 or whatever. I think Pep should start Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob. They deserve a start. They haven't even put any foot wrong. And what a relief! What a relief for us. Brentford 1-0, Bournemouth 1-0. We're having couple of 1-0s. People who have, who have made Erling Haaland the triple captains. I guess a lot of people would be having Doku or Erling Haaland as the triple captains in the last two fixtures. They're suffering. But people who have made our defense, one of our defenders as triple captain would have just been making merry, especially Akanji. That header of the goal line almost with Ederson beaten Ruben Diaz header they were showing just past Dominic Solanke, Ruben Diaz header, and then one of the shots going wide of the post. Bournemouth had very high quality chances. And Ederson save from a corner as well. Look at it. Ederson went inside the goal. Ederson save from a Bournemouth corner as well. Bournemouth had chances, they had many chances, and that Enes Zonal header they're showing, that was one of the best headers you will see in this Premier League season. I know it didn't hit the target, but it had everything. It had everything. Exactly, Bayaji. Uh, Enes Zonal header. Luton scored a header, but the only difference was I think Luton was in the middle of the goal, and so finding the corner was easy for Ogbine back then. But now for Ennezunal, I think he was already at the corner, so I think it was much more difficult uh, find in the corner. If Unal was standing in the middle of the goal, I think he would have found the corner. That angle. City's next eight fixtures they're showing Luton away, United home, Copenhagen home, Liverpool away, Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Aston Villa home, Crystal Palace away. I think 31st of 3rd of April until Aston Villa home. If we win all of our fixtures, right from Luton away to Aston Villa at home. That is until the 3rd of April. I think we have got a damn good chance of winning the Premier League title. I think because that this is our fixture list. The next eight fixtures are our title. The next eight fixtures, guys, are our run-in. This is one of the most tense time. This is our run-in. People say, when is the run-in? Last six games, last eight games. This is our run-in. United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa. People would say Tottenham at home, Tottenham at their home, but no. But anyway, guys, we can just relax on this weekend and just enjoy it. That was a hard in the mouth game. And thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me here. It was a wonderful discussion as usual. And